In this video, I'm gonna show you how to trick shot on mouse and keyboard like a pro.
Oh, I hit!
Damn.
Hey, let's go, bro.
Oh!
Oh, I hit!
Let's go over settings and mouse DPI. So I play on really low sensitivity. When I'm trick shotting though, I press my scroll wheel to change my sensitivity. So I'll show you how I do that in Razer Snaps. So if I go to my mouse here, now you can see my scroll wheel is binded to cycle up sensitivity stages. Now you can do that. If you click here and change from mouse function to sensitivity, you can select this. And then if I go into my DPI stages, I have my normal sense, which is my 1600 DPI. And then I turn up my horizontal DPI on my trick shotting sense. So my vertical sense is the same. So if I turn my mouse to the side, it won't go up and down very much. All right, next up is keybinds. You need to have your combos keybinded to something comfortable for you. You want all your combo keys to be close to your left hand or your right hand, where it's in close proximity. You don't have to move your hand at all. I binded next weapon to E. This makes swapping really easy for me. You spam swap a lot in combos. I have X for weapon inspect. Melee I set to 3. Lethal equipment I'll use either my side mouse button or I'll use 2. And for my tactical I use my other side mouse button. Field upgrade I have set to Q. This is pretty convenient, especially for fake knacks, which I'll get into later. Another setting you want is turning off automatic sprint, because this will make it a lot uglier when you're jumping off the ledge. And then there's one more setting. If you scroll down and find equipment behavior, turning this on to toggle makes it a lot easier to not throw out your grenades on accident mid-combo. Now I'll show you class setups. Now the main thing you're gonna want is the cat AMR. This gun is the most consistent damage-wise. Now run this exact class setup. I swear this has been the best class setup for me. I started hitting as soon as I put on this laser and the barrel. Just copy the class. Now for your vest, you're gonna want either gunner vest, demolition vest, or overkill vest usually. Now gunner vest and overkill are good for, you know, having 2 primaries in your combo. Then demolition vest is good because if you want a primary and a secondary, you'll regenerate your equipment. Now getting into the perks, for gloves you want either quick grip gloves or ordnance gloves. If you want to do over the shoulder, you need to not run quick grip, so I usually run ordnance. For boots, you know, you're an SND, you want to run covert sneakers usually, just so people don't hear you. Now the gear perks don't really matter as much, but let me tell you, mag holster and gunner vest will both give you the faster reload animations, which means there's different reload animations depending on if you have mag holster on or not. Now that we got the basics, we're gonna get into the real tutorial. Alright, I have the hand cam up. Now the most important thing you need to learn is a 360. You need to be able to do a smooth 360. This is how I 360. Just do it slow. I'm on super high sense, so I hardly have to move my mouse. You just do it slow, because if you do it fast, it doesn't look like a spin so much as a flick. If you do it slowly, it's more like timing a spin on controller, like such. Now it might help if you have something you can look at that's easier to time your 360s with, if it stands out in like the scenery, like this blue of the plane maybe. It's a little easier to time that way. Now I'm just spinning to the right. You can practice to the left maybe if you want. Now you need to be really comfortable with this 360, because what you're going to end up doing is 360ing and then chaining more 360s with it. And that's how you're going to be trick shotting on mouse and keyboard. And eventually you'll get to the point where you don't need to chain the 360s together so much as just going for the 720, you know, like such. But at the start you're going to be more like this. And if you can smooth it out in between, it'll look really good. Now if you're really a beginner, you want to start with something small, like a 360 on ground into a 360. Instead of going like this and doing it really fast, you want to do it really smooth, and if you can get that down, you have the basics for trick shotting on mouse. So just smooth 360 and then a 360 off. And as you get better at it, you will learn how to smooth out the timing in between, like the jump off. With practice, eventually you're going to be jumping off like this. Alright, so if you can do the 360 on ground into the 360 in air, then it's time to start going for a 720. Now I would skip the NSL to start and just go jump off do your 360 and then just try to fit another right after. Same speed, same smoothness. Don't switch up your mouse movement, just, you know, do the 360 and then do another. Same exact timing. Like so. Alright, so you got your 720s. Now to take it further, you're going to want to start throwing in the NSL before the 720. So start with the 360 and then 2 spins. And it might make it easier to spin the other way and then go into the other spins. It can make it look clean. You know, do what you want depending on your shot. For me personally, my NSL pattern usually looks like this. I usually do a spin to the right and then a spin left, and then I'll spin right off. It's time to learn to combo. Now personally, doing my combos kind of helps me with timing my spins, because I'll press my combo button right when I'm looking at the start or the end of the 360, I guess. So like, I press it now, or I cancel it now. Or I press it now, cancel, pull another, you know, whatever it may be. I'm basically doing the combo when I'm looking this way, as opposed to like behind me, just so I can keep it consistent, like 1, 2, 3, 4, you know, it just helps with timing. So the most obvious combo for me is an equipment cancel. Now the best equipments that look very clean in my opinion are sticky grenade, throwing star. The claymore can look pretty good. The throwing knife is alright. The C4 is alright. Breacher drone is alright. You can really experiment with whatever you want and find what you like, but the first 3 or so that I listed are definitely the cleanest. For tacticals, most of the left-handed tacticals are the same. It doesn't really matter too much. The stim looks super clean. Most of the single-handed things, like everything aside from Battle Rage, Scatter Mine, EMD Mine, I think everything besides those is just a one-handed equipment in the left hand. So it's important to know if your equipment is a single left-handed one or not, and I'll get into that in a second. Alright, now one of my favorite combos is a reverse reload. As long as you can have your sniper out while you're holding the smoke or stun, this will work. After you reload, you can pull your stun and shoot immediately as the stun cancels it. Like so, it just looks like you're shooting mid-reload. You can do the same thing with the over the shoulder. You can cancel it right before it goes over your shoulder. Like that. Another one I do often is the inspect into reload. Looks nice on some guns. So if you have ordnance gloves on with the over the shoulder, you want to get your second gun like an empty mag so it's automatically reloading. And then you just swap weapons for a faster swap. You can see how long this swap takes, as opposed to this, it just immediately comes over. Most guns in MW3 have a cool reload cancel. If you play out the reload animation and then put the mag back in, usually you can cancel it when it's like in the middle of an animation, like this one. It looks good on like pistols. Now of course another combo, you can just melee in your shot. Personally, I'll do a melee after I shoot, like this, and that looks pretty good a lot of the time. And I'll show you how I chain together a basic combo. So for this, I'm gonna do a camera cancel to the right, drill charge to the left, and then I'll reverse reload, I think. So I'm gonna pull my camera, my drill charge, and then reload. Obviously pull the smoke and shoot at the same time. That's the basic combos over with. Now let's get into advanced combos. So my favorite combo in MW3 is called a fake knack. Now you need a tactical camera on your class. You throw it down so you can't, like, you know, you need to be able to pull up this screen, I guess, because if you have one of those just sitting, it'll pull that out instead of the screen. What you do is you pull the camera and swap weapons at about the same time. So I'm gonna press my Q button and my E button at the same time. I'll kind of show on the hand cam. I'm pressing this button and this one same time, just like that, and it knacks. Now you can't spam it too fast, because if you're mid weapon swap, it won't work. You can't be mid weapon swap and then knack. So if I knack and then try to immediately spam it again, like mid over the shoulder, it just won't work. Now I have a way around that, so I can do 2 fake knacks back to back, which is I will pull out my second gun and empty the mag, and now that the mag is empty, when I knack to it, it'll just immediately be reloading instead of swapping still. So you can see when I pull out the RPG, it'll just immediately reload, like so, and I can fake knack back. So that's 2 fake knacks. Now, the thing with the fake knacks, you can do them in almost like anything. You can zoom in fake knack, You can act like you're doing a reload knack. You can do an inspect knack. You can, let's see, you can fade into a knack. You can do like a fake titty knack. Shoot out your bolt. See that? Wow, that actually looks fire. Alright, the next thing I'm going to show you is a fade, which is usually impossible on mouse and keyboard. So I'm going to show you how to get around this. So you're going to go to the link in the description, download the controller emulator, and then once you have it open, it should look like this. You click add, get the keyboard and the mouse. You don't need to add a controller, just keyboard and mouse. And then I have to add the other one because it only added the keyboard. Alright, now you click on the keyboard, go down here, click on the X like on the controller, and then, so click on that, and press R. Yes. Alright, now you can see X button right here, it says button 19. Button 19 is R. So what that did is you just mapped your reload button in game, which is R, to this controller button, which is realistically like a reload and an interact in one. So once you have this set up, pressing R will be like pressing X on controller. So with this, you'll be able to fade, you'll be able to do melee repeaters. So you want to save all, you're going to go to issues, and it might say something, do like solve all issues or whatever. Right now it says there's none found, usually it's fine. Alright, so once you've saved all and checked the issues, we're going to go into game and see if it works. So first things first, go into keybinds, find your reload, and unbind it in game. You do not need your reload binded. When you press R, it just converts it to like a controller input basically. Now to see if it works, go into your firing range, and after you have your reload unbinded, press R, and if it reloads, you're good. If it doesn't reload, you can try restarting your game. Make sure your controller is unplugged if you have one, and then if none of that works, I'd restart your PC and try again. Make sure you have the emulator open because you need this open while you're playing, otherwise it won't simulate the reload. So now that you have the controller emulator set up so you can reload properly on mouse and keyboard, you should have your reload unbinded in game. Now how you're gonna fade is you're gonna press reload and then shoot immediately. Imagine pressing them at the same time, but the reload is just slightly first. If you're on low ping, it's harder to do, it's easier to do on high ping. So that was a fade. I didn't actually shoot, it just looked like I did. Like that. Now personally, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I just recently set up a macro for this so I can spam them and get it like every time. I can't lie, if you're on mouse and keyboard and you're free spinning with your mouse like this, you're gonna want that. It's just really hard to time like your spins while also thinking about, okay, reload and then shoot at this time. It also is just annoying when you're in private match on low ping. You don't want to have to worry about that. So now that you know the fade, you can do something with the fade called a cowboy, which will basically send your gun like sideways into the air. I'll just show you what I got. So you're basically spamming fades back to back to back to send your gun higher and higher. And then I'm just canceling my drill charge and bringing it back. So now you can see my smoke comes down, the gun comes down. Yep, it looks pretty cool. Yeah, I don't know. Alright, next advanced combo. This one you also need the controller emulator set up for the reload. This one is super easy. It's a melee repeater. You just hold reload, you melee, and then let go of reload like halfway through your melee. So I'm pressing both and holding reload, and then I'll tell you when I let go of reload. Holding, let go. Yep. And it'll melee twice. Let go. Yep. So when you're in that second melee, it's a ghost animation. You're not actually meleeing, so you can cancel it with almost anything. So I'll show you, you can YY out of it, you can fade out of it, you can fake knack in the middle of it. Let me see that. You can aim down sights and it looks cool depending on which animation you get. Like this one looks good. And you can also, you know, like combo those together. You can do this into a fake knack, which I do all the time. But there's really like so much you can do with melee repeaters. You can sprint while meleeing. You can shoot in the middle of your melee, which looks really cool. Like if you do that in the middle of a shot. Obviously you can inspect out of it, you can reload out of it. The melee repeater is just cool because it's a cancelable melee animation. But let me just tell you, the melee repeater will not show in kill cam. You'll just melee once and then it won't show anything. So it'll just show me like normally aiming down sights there. Alright, another combo you can do with dual pistols. I think it only works with the semi-automatic pistols and it doesn't work with the tiers. I know the like magnum pistols. So you get 2 semi-auto pistols, like dual wield. You can hold left click or right click depending on which pistol you want to inspect. So basically you're just gonna hold right click, for example, and then press your inspect button. Now it's inspecting just one pistol, not both. Now I'll show you I can do it with the other one. So I'm holding down left click now, pressing inspect. And yeah, it'll shoot again when you like press the inspect. That's just kind of how it works. Oh, look at that. Now this combo is pretty nice, but you need this combo to be able to do the next one, which is a claymore repeater. Now this is probably the most complex combo I know, honestly. It's probably the hardest one, but it's just learning the timing. Change your equipment. For this combo specifically, you want your equipment on hold. So you do the same inspect thing, you gotta hold right click. You can't hold left click on this one. So what you're gonna do is get your inspect thing going. You're gonna pull the claymore, let go of click, like let go of your right click, and then press E like right after. And that's gonna do 2 claymore places. Like it'll do an invisible one after. So there you go, that's how you do it. The combo I'm doing is I right click, press X, press 2 for my claymore, and then when it's mid place of the claymore, I let go of my right trigger, or my right mouse, and then I press E to swap weapons right after I let go of that mouse. Like so. Alright, well that's pretty much all the combos I know. Now, mouse and keyboard trickshotting is literally just, you know, chaining 360s with different combos. I hope you guys can get used to that and just get used to the combo right when you're looking forward, you know. It'll help you with timing a lot. And that way you can do like more spins. Once you get comfortable with how far you move your mouse for one 360, you'll get comfortable with just doing more back to back to back. There it is, that's the whole tutorial, I think. I hope this can inspire more people to trickshot on mouse and keyboard. Anyways, thanks for watching. I hope this helped you. If it did, share it with some people, you know. Drop a like, subscribe, all that shit. And I'll see y'all in the next one.